We begin with breaking news. Hockey Canada says Brind'Amour is stepping down as chair of its board of directors effective immediately. A statement from Brind'Amour reads in part, "Immediate action is essential to address the important challenges facing our organization and our sport, which our action plan works to accomplish. I would not be able to see this renewal through and have therefore announced my resignation to the board of directors." Brind'Amour says he's confident recommendations from the independent review will lead to a future of desired change. The Hockey Canada board of directors and members will meet in the coming days to determine next steps and to appoint an interim chair. The resignation follows growing calls for change at the top of the organization after hearings in Ottawa over revelations that members of the 2018 World Junior team were accused of a group sexual assault and that Hockey Canada reached a settlement with a complainant. Another allegation of group sexual assault involving the 2003 World Junior team surfaced last month. Joining us now for more from Sudbury, Ontario is the co-director of the National Research Network for Gender Equity in Sport, and Pegoraro. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me on.
So, Anne, what was your reaction when you heard the news this morning about Brind'Amour's resignation?
I think it was time to see some movement. There's been calls for resignations, both from board members, but also from key leadership positions in Hockey Canada. And this is the first one we've seen step aside. So I think we need to be watching what Hockey Canada's board does next in terms of who are they going to appoint as that interim chair.
And who would you like to see in that position? What kind of person?
I'd like to see someone who comes from a different background and isn't maybe as steeped in the game and the culture of hockey. Hockey Canada recently made some efforts to diversify their board and added 2 women and 1 individual from a culturally diverse background. And I'd prefer to see one of those 3 new members who have a different point of view on hockey and on our game to be the chair.
Talk to us a little bit more about the culture shift that needs to happen at Hockey Canada from your view, from your perspective.
Well, we've got an organization that's in charge of arguably, everyone's favorite and national pastime and the best game in our country for a lot of people. But we've not seen a lot of change. We've seen, the people in leadership have been there for decades, and they've enabled this culture and also been a part of the decisions that we're now seeing as we peel back the layers that have been made around protecting the organization, protecting athletes who, commit sexual assault. So I think we need to see some whole-scale change. The board needs to be fully renewed, in my opinion, and I think key leadership positions inside that organization need to change. We saw the poll recently put out by CTV News that shows how angry Canadians are and how they are not confident in this leadership.
Right, and on that note, Anne, given the anger that we're seeing nationally, how can Hockey Canada rebuild trust amongst Canadians?
Well, I think a couple of steps. I mean, when we look at the data from the survey done, it looks like, overall people are angry, but women are angrier than any other group. And so I think appointing a woman as a chair to show leadership that can convince perhaps women across the country that it's got in better hands would be a first step. I think changing some of the leadership positions is going to be key, but I also think committing to more openness and transparency. They haven't committed to transparency in this third-party review that is going to be public and we're all going to see what they say. So we need more transparency, and we need them to step up and step down.
And just finally here, Anne, the women's national hockey team has voiced concerns over what the federal funding freeze for Hockey Canada will mean for them. Are you surprised there hasn't been more clarity on whether funding for the women's teams will continue?
Yeah, I think that we've seen both the women's team and the para team being caught up in what's happening with the men's hockey side of the business. And I think as Canadians, we should be concerned. The women's team is arguably one of our most successful teams, some of the highest performing athletes, and both them and the para athletes depend on the Canadian sport funding system for their revenue and their because they don't earn salaries in professional leagues. So I think they're right to be concerned, and I actually am quite shocked, I guess, that we haven't seen more assertions from Hockey Canada that their funding is secure and they're going to keep being able to pursue excellence.
And thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your insights with us.
Thanks for having me on.